you guys think about like how they're doing the story mode right now? Because how I see it is like they're trying to really retell the story. It's not a bad way about how they're doing it. I think this is probably like the best way, especially for new people that haven't even seen Bleach, to be like, oh, this is what's happening in the show. I want to actually see the new Thousand Year Blood War. Instead of actually watching the whole show, let me get what I can from the game. And I think this game is going to be able to retell the story beautifully. But now, for everyone that
Uh-oh.
actually knows Bleach, this is actually a downfall for some of us because what we want is kind of like how you're talking about with the Dynasty Warriors, just like we're just going in and just slashing and stuff. We want that dead gameplay where we're just going in, smashing a button, and that's what Storm
Yeah.
2 was. Was it was retelling a story, and even though think about it, the hypest moments inside of Storm 2 wasn't the fact that we were learning combos and playing it. It was the fact that the story mode, we were able to have those quick time events where we're smashing the button, and there was actually beautiful scenes. And for me, I feel like Bleach Rebirth of Souls won't have that, but they're gonna have really good storytelling and be able to show you what they have for the characters, because they're gonna get more in depth into the storylines, and two, what everyone is actually able to do compared to just smashing that controller and be like, oh my fucking god, I want that shit. So that's how I see it right now for the story.
I actually agree because I've been saying it whenever like the conversation comes up, and I'm like, people only buying this game for this, and people are disagreeing with me, and I'm just like, well, you gotta remember, there hasn't been a Bleach game in quite a long time, but the Bleach anime ended in 2012. The original Bleach, this game is covering that. From a marketing standpoint, it is a lot easier to market a game to re-experience something that the average person probably hasn't watched in a long time. Because I'm not thinking about me. I've been rewatching Bleach. Cool, I know what everything happens, but the average person, they don't remember that shit. So this is the perfect time for them, the casual fan who probably watched Thousand Year Blood War but didn't want to watch the other Bleach because, oh, too much filler, whatever.
Yeah.
This is perfect for them. But then this game is also perfect for the people who want to get into Bleach but are kind of like, I don't know if I want to watch that filler from what I heard. Because one of the reasons why it took me so long to get into Bleach, because I heard it has filler. Eventually, I just took the bullet, and then here we are now. But I think it's a perfect way for them to get into it. The only problem is that are we going to have those special moments, those cutscenes, those quick time events? Are we going to have things that are going to wow us, right? I think right now this game is going to be a good way to get a good reminder of the story. But from the cutscenes we've been seeing, this shit might just take a long time just to get through. Like, I'm thinking like 30 hours just to play through the story.
Yeah, because I'm not lying. When I was watching the voice actor playing the game, like not the latest one now, but like the first couple of ones, I was sitting here like I'm actually just gonna skip until I find the gameplay, and it was only 3 minutes at the end, over 20 minutes long, and I'm like, okay, what I've gotten from the story, a lot of cutscenes that are not involved, but at least they're trying to tell the story, and I think that's their point for Bleach Rebirth of Souls, and it's good, but it's a bad thing because most of us, if we already know the story, I promise you, a lot of us are gonna want to skip it, and hopefully they give us a whole bunch of scenes. Even if they don't do the smashing the button with the cinematic cutscenes, hopefully there's just a lot of interesting fights because we have Hollows, we're gonna have Jinbei, we're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff with characters. As long as they can create these moments and be able to give us new characters within the story mode that I know we're not going to be able to play, then that's fine, as long as us skipping the entire game doesn't only give us 30 minutes of gameplay.
And you know what I also hope? Like, at the very least, a fast forward button.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
at
a
the
skip
very
button,
least,
you never know.
a skip button in the fast forward, because I wouldn't mind listening to these cutscenes, because it'd be the first time hearing the dub in a while, unless, like, of course, you
And some of them have
rewatching
new.
voice
Keep in mind,
actors.
some of the dub voice actors are also different from the original anime. Like, Inji's is different. Olabelle's is actually different, which I didn't realize because I did not. Whatchamacallit. watch the scene of Halabel in A Thousand Year Blood War in the dub to hear the voice, be like, oh, they changed voice actresses. I didn't even realize that. So like some of these scenes, the voice actors are gonna be voicing for like the first time, basically from the original anime. Like not exactly the same lines, but pretty much what the lines would have been.
Yeah.
For the dub actors. So I mean, it'll be semi like a first like watch sort of thing with these new voice actors and actresses.
Because
I know we're coming like closer to the end here, so
yeah.
I got a question for you guys. For Bleach Rebirth of Souls, do you guys think once it comes out, is it going to be a bad, mid, good, or an amazing game in your guys' opinion?
Lava, you can go first.
I feel like for me, I obviously bias makes me want to say it'll be an amazing game.
Take away the bias.
Like I need to see what else the game is going to have. Because obviously we know there's the story mode, there's PvP, but that's kind of the same thing that Sparking has. But with Sparking, it's kind of like the way that you interact with those modes, mostly the online, kind of dictates how you feel about the game. Because obviously there's a lot of people who just did not vibe with the online PvP experience, and so their opinion of the game is soured because of that. So I feel like for me, I'll say it's going to be at least a good game. If the experience playing online in PvP against friends and even just random people feels really nice, like you don't feel like you're getting cheated out of your matches because of some like BS or exploit or thing like that, then I think it'll go from being a good game to an amazing game. But I have to experience it for myself to make that judgment call. So I'm gonna say good for now, but it could be higher.
All right,
Okay.
y'all. Everyone in this stream is gonna hate my answer. I'm just letting y'all know. You talk to anybody who played Storm 4 prior to Storm Connections, and maybe a year after Storm 4 came out, and they'll tell you that game was mid. They'll tell you they didn't like it for whatever reason. But then when it came down to Connections, they'll tell you, "Oh my god, the game is so great." So I'm telling you what's gonna happen. There's going to be a mixed bag between people calling this game mid and good. Me personally, like Lava said, I'm gonna be biased, but I at the very least expect this game to be good from what I saw. But I realistically expect it to be between mid and good. So if we have 4 categories, bad, mid, good, amazing, it's gonna be within that like 50 to 66% range of satisfaction for overall people. I think there's just going to be a lot of mid because they might do something like, hey, you got to unlock all the you got to unlock most of the characters via story, or they might do something where people don't fuck with the game like that. But I think people are going to play the game nonetheless in the short term, like Storm 4. It's going to get a lot of traction. It's going to do what it needs to do. But I think you're eventually going to have those people making dumb complaints. It's not going to be Sparking Zero, thank freaking goodness, and I don't have to worry about it because I don't have a community for it, but like on Twitter. But it is going to hit that mid to good range, I feel like. I know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like, at least it's going to be good as long as the network stays solid, because this game has offered enough of character variety that the one thing that is always going to keep any game running is its replay value and the netcode, but the replay value. And in order to have really good replay value, you have to have a good netcode. And the thing that's going to make Bleach like actually successful is if PvP is successful. Like moving away from like story mode, that's what people are looking for. But in all honesty, once you're done with the story mode, doesn't matter what other modes there are, PvP is going to be the next big thing. And if that's sad, depressing, or everyone just feels the same, then you're going to go from a bad to mid-range game. But compared to Bleach Rebirth of Souls, where I think we can all agree most characters are different, everyone has their own uniqueness, and that's what's going to make us want to play the game more in PvP as long as the internet is good. That's what's going to really make or break the game.